All right.
Uh,
So this is going to be casting for the second time in a row. I'm very happy to be here. We've got a trial guest of my teammate and good friend Handifap, future VIP if luck has it in the right way. He's only going to be here for maybe a game or two, just because he's got some other previous obligations. But because no one else wanted to cast with beautiful old me, it looks like Handy's here to fill that void. So
Yo, what's
say
up?
hello, Handy.
Hi, how's it going, everybody? Handifap, off tank for Harmony and Chaos here.
This isn't an interview, but yeah. Nice. Sorry, I didn't introduce myself again. I'm Steve Buscemi, or Stevio Buscemi, depending on Discord or in-game, main tank for Harmony.
Real
Weber's
Steve
fan.
Buscemi.
We're going to be watching the great, exciting game of Otaku versus Meta Rejects. Meta Rejects, fan favorite. Otaku, always been a big player. First place for a very long time now. And my previous casting mate of Sif is on that one, so he was definitely looking forward to this. So I'm very much looking forward to this. What about you, Handy? I know you won't be here for the whole time, but for the matches that you're here, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this. I know that Otaku has been pretty dominant over the entirety of the season. I've heard a lot out of leadership coming from Smugs and Yojak. I heard that they had a pretty good pickup with Scythe coming in as another DPS with the departure of Evo. I think that they've proven that they're a really good team in the league.
Yeah, no, definitely. They're very dominant. Meta Rejects, always up there. You got Kingdom, very proud of his Master's rank. He's a Master's main tank, but I suppose he's now off tank, right? And then everyone's favorite, arguably the MVP of the entire league, Skifer Yeti. He's right here, main tanking for Meta Rejects.
Daddy
Previously on the podcast yesterday as one of the top tank lineups in the entire league. So it'll be very interesting to see top team versus top tank lineup. What do you think, Andy?
I think that Meta Rejects is definitely another one of the top teams in the league. I think that coming off of last week, they're looking to rebound here. They're looking to come off of the 4-0 from Solo Cup, and I think that they're going to bounce back in a big way for this one.
No, I could totally see this. Otaku may have been dominant this entire time, but as we saw against their game against Alt F4, anything can happen. Because at that time, Alt F4 was still kind of not a bad team by any standards, but definitely not a team you would be thinking to take out the top, one of the world. So if that happens, then anything can happen. Now, to be fair, Otaku has, don't say it, Andy, Otaku has been very much rebounding and making some changes all along. And it seems to be working for the most part. We had a Sif on here last week casting the game, and he said he was playing against scrims against Havoc and other teams. And they said their cohesion was working really well, and I think Sif is going to be as good of a additive to Otaku as he has been to the league so far. So Otaku versus Meta Rejects by no means is an easy decision between the two. Meta Rejects is trying hard, and I think they will continue to try hard and definitely be winning. I mean, Peter's famous for being one of the best DPS in the entire league.
And I mean, your boy just hit GM.
Yeah.
That is a big improvement. He's shot up. He's one of the most improved players in the league, in my opinion. And I think that coming off of last week again, he's going to look to bounce back in a big way for this one and outperform Smugs, which is a challenge in of itself. Smugs is a really good DPS. He's showcased that, he has the Widow to back it up. He's showcased that he's flexible. Sif as well. I was watching some of their scrims, and Sif is really flexible on DPS. So I'm excited in seeing how the DPS matchups are for this.
No, for sure. I think if there's anything to watch in this, it's definitely going to be that DPS lineup. Because for as much as, you might want to say those front conversations between tank and fighting each other, or maybe other supports are doing in the back line, but this is definitely one of those ones where you want to keep your eye on the flashiness. You want to keep your eyes on if they do Widow duels or something along those lines, because I think those would be really fun to just watch overall. Anything specifically that you're looking forward to, Handy, as far as like real just particulars between the team when they're in game, what we should be like paying attention to?
Personally, good question, Steve. Good question.
All right. So Junkertown's going to be the first map we're seeing. Very divisive map. Some people love it. Some people hate it, especially as far as escorts go, because I think escort, generally speaking, is fairly liked game mode. But Junkertown as far as escort maps go. I don't know. You can see a lot of comps with this. You can get bunker comps, double sniper. You can do just any type. You see Reaper on there. You know, the Spitfire was famous for playing Reaper in that first season, and that was unheard of. This was also when Reaper was still, for the most part, kind of a trash hero. So, you know, overall, very interesting. What do you think, Andy? You a fan of this map?
No.
Yeah.
I'm not. I don't like this
I think,
map.
generally speaking, tanks aren't a big fan.
Yeah, not a big fan of this map as a tank. You know, it feels like more often than not, the bunker comps are really prevalent here, especially for that first point where it's wide open. You either see bunker, you see snipers. So I think that's probably what we're going to see for this first point here is we're going to probably see bunker out of offense. I believe that is Otaku. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah,
okay,
so,
no, meta rejects. So I think they might pull out. Yep, there it is.
All right, so we're getting the Bastion, and we're getting the Baptiste. Now, Baptiste, I know, hasn't been in here for very long, and still sort of finding his ground, but we've seen him with these Bastion comps before. I mean, Alt F4 is hard to hold on Anubis, included Baptiste, and I think he's just proving that predisposed ideas of what is a bunker comp and what can solidly be there. But we see now on Otaku, they're running that Sombra. And Sombra, famously, her EMP is definitely a game-winning ult. Like, if you have an EMP and no other like ults, you can still win that fight. Alright. So we're starting off. Now, as you can see, although they've got a Bastion which is very solitary, there is that Widow, Peters, and Peters is deadly on that. So we want to keep an eye out on just how they're doing it. And then Sif with the Sombra is constantly in the background. Oh, the first combat's going. Baptiste has launched his eye field a little off, but there is a DMAC on Popsy. Yojack's far up there, he gets punished for it. Sif is still in the back. Sif seems to be attacking. He's fighting Peters, backs off. Gecko's in front of the shield, never mind, falls back. That's a little bit of an awkward spot for a Bastion to be in. I suppose they are turning the corner, which will be overall good. Sif is by himself, but they don't seem to know where he is. He can get a hack off in this Bastion. I think that's really important if they do. They switched off to Winston, so they're going full dive now to counteract this Bastion, but we'll see if this actually does anything. Sif is just gaining some ult in the back, but Peters has a good lockdown on him, it seems. Yojack coming around with Pixel, seeing if they can do it. Big anti onto the Baptiste and Mercy. Mercy is out of the eye field. If they can focus on that, Sif sees that. Sif is going for the kill. Does he manage to? Not yet. Kingdom and manages to get Yojack as well as Flufflepops popping off there. And the Bastion just is surviving onto that. That was a good solid push.
Yeah, I agree. I saw from that was I was seeing Sif get off a few hacks in that fight, but there just wasn't enough follow-up. There wasn't enough target focus for them to really capitalize and take the card back.
I think it was really unfortunate early on there. As you could see, Yojack separated himself off as Reinhardt. I don't know if that was just so he could die and switch to Winston, or if that was just an unfortunate turn of events. Because what that caused him to do is that there was no real good solid trying to attempt to distract them. Okay, Hanzo and EMP coming out. That's going to be enough to push him off cart. Immediately Gecko falls. Yeti falls down as well, but the eye field's countering after that, but they've got it down and they're anti. That is a clear and solid win. That is what you like to see to get off that bunker. Peters is still alive, though.
I like that because that was, you know, preemptive before Meta Rejects had the chance to be able to take that fight. Sif initiated with EMP, which means that if Ifield was out, it's now gone, and then they capitalize on that with Dragon.
Yeah.
So,
Alright, so they switched
really well
off Bastion here, though. Massive anti going on there, so if they can push onto that. But the bomb comes out. See Yojack's got bubble. That was solid. Okay. He managed to fall out. The bomb was used for nothing there, but it's now dive v dive. This is stuff that you don't see very often, but you see a lot more now ever since the changes to those. Primal was popped by Yojack back. Peters gets a nice kill on Sif. That could be very important here. Bomb comes out, gets that eye field. Not exactly worth it, but overall, I think it's positive. Yojack has to back off here as their down player.
Flopsy is in all alone.
Yeah, Flopsy is in there deep. However, Hanzo ult comes out now.
Nice, good job.
But doesn't do much overall because Ivy's got that res. Okay. Alright, so we've got a nanoed Winston in the back, but I don't know. I kind of like that. I thought even though the nano might have been a little unnecessary there, they did definitely make them back off. What do you think?
Yeah, I think that was good enough to exert some more pressure to be able to get meta rejects to finally reset, which may have worked out in their favor so that they could reset and make the changes that they just made, seeing Brig and Mercy come out now.
Sif is here on the Genji as well, which I don't think we called out earlier. I always like a good Genji. I think especially on Junkertown, a map that's got so much verticality, even if it is against that Winston. But as you can see here, Ski goes hard on him, trying to get that big bomb, getting Yojak there. That is nice. So that means they're going to be down their main tank, and even though that Hanzo ult is coming in, I think they're overall down. That down of player is pretty big. Genji is in their backlines, though, so Peters versus Sif right now, but I think Sif is just a little overwhelmed. Flufflepop's getting Ski, though. Wow, that's what you like to see. Alright, so they have no shield. See, oh, that was beautiful by Ivy Cat. Gecko just managed to fall right behind that shield. Sif pops his blade, gets a double kill to Gecko and Ivy. And Flufflepops again with Peters. Big blade, they managed to hold it. However, their ult economy, for neither team is great, but it's definitely in the favor for Otaku here. They got that Primal and they got that Nano. Not the best combo in the world, but I think it's enough.
If Otaku has ult tracking down right now, they know that Meta Rejects doesn't have any ults on hand. I would use Nano, engage with that, and you should be able to win this fight.
Peters is already half, and he got antied there, which was definitely a big one on him, because they weren't able to push out. And they have the Gecko now on Reaper to deal with this dive. But they themselves aren't dive, which makes me wonder, do you think they're going to be able to move as a group fast enough? Ski is very low. Ski is taken down. I think this is just showing a dominant hold. Ever since Otaku basically claimed this after Bastion got killed down. Flops being a little aggro, but they managed to get that DMAC onto Kingdom. That is big. And they didn't give Kingdom very much charge on that either. Kingdom's only at 12% to mech, and if they just play safely here, Kingdom won't be DMAC for quite a while. It was almost better than just getting a staggered kill, honestly. Yojak, if they can get Kingdom now,
yeah,
that was very unfortunate.
Big stagger.
Gecko is in the back, though, and I don't know if they know that yet. Oh, Sif? Yeah, they don't seem to notice that Gecko is over here as Reaper. Smugs pops his ult early on to try to push him back. They only have 45 seconds left right now. Gecko is coming around. Let's see if he managed to do anything. He's got his eyes on Pixel Rocket, and they're going low down. Okay, Ski is on point. The Hanzo comes out. Reaper's out on Pixel. There we go. Nice play by Gecko. Long haul. Sif pops ult, gets Peters, but that's just all they can get. With the res by Beastman there, that's very good. Lucio Flufflepops is still alive, getting his way out of there. Some very fine movement there.
That was great on their part. They were kind of getting, you know, backtracked by the ult tracking and the ult usage by Otaku. And now they've baited out, you know, Hanzo ult and
Yojak coming out. Okay, Sif, okay, they still got it, so that was an unfortunate use. Primal and Diva, so not sure if that was overall worth it, especially considering the ults. Otaku is both tank ults and soon to be Nano. Wow. I don't know. Meta Rejects only has Reaper and Rally? I'm not sure if they're going to be able to do very much, especially Rally on a dive comp like this means they have to stay together with this. I'm not sure if they're going to be able to do much overall. Diva Bomb coming out, not getting anyone. Sif again on the front lines. Oh, Peter's getting Pixel Rocket. That is big. That's how they won the last fight, was when Gecko got Pixel. So Primal is popped by Yojak here, just stalling out point and he can't move. Peters is in the backline on Flufflepop. Flufflepop seems to be backing off though. Okay, never mind. Ooh, Fluffle's actually getting the pick with Popsy there. It's really big. They're gonna be down. If they can just regroup here, they can easily hold this. Gecko is coming back from spawn right now. He's got a long way to go, especially as Reaper with that slow mobility. Sif coming up on top. Sif soon to have Blade. Hanzo coming out. Big bomb. Smugs gets a kill with that though. No kills come out by Kingdom there. So we'll see if Sif's Blade is able to do anything. Gets nanoed as well. Big pick on Peters again. Peters is just being disabled the past two fights, not being able to do much. Kingdom is on Sif right now and gets demeched by him again. I think they could have stalled him there, but I guess they only have 5 seconds. There's no reason to, right? Okay, Ball is able to touch. Ski is able to touch, however, especially, but there is a friendly ult coming through. Ski is down. Are they able to do anything else? Ivy Cat and Beastman both on point, but I think this is just a little too late. Gecko coming on. Maybe not. Peters and Gecko are both here with Kingdom. If they're able to win this, this will be an amazing turn of events. Especially, ooh, big eat by Kingdom, eating Smug's ult, which would easily push them off. This is very winnable right now for Meta Rejects, which I personally didn't see. I thought that was a lost fight. Gecko uses ult, doesn't seem to be able to get much. Klopsy absorbing some of it and getting pushed off by Flufflepuffs at the edge. Good play by Fluffle right there. Yojak playing up top. Ult coming out by Peters right there, pushing off Kingdom. Not, my bad. Klopsy in the corner. Klopsy is half, pretty close to low, actually. Flufflepuffs and Yojak both down. That is amazing.
Wow.
And they don't get onto point.
Wow.
That was very well played.
Wow. I was scared. Because towards the end of that round there, before the overtime came on, I was seeing that, you know, the DPS from the side of Meta Rejects were getting isolated and they were getting picked off.
Yeah, Peters got picked off at the beginning or like the very end of two fights there in a row.
Gecko got picked off first, and then Peters got picked off. And I thought that, okay, it's more than likely over now. No,
I'll have to say
they kept poke damage, you know, they kept it up.
Yeah, like, that was overall just an amazing turn of events. And as you saw at the end there, Peters did have those dragons, and they just, although not getting necessarily the kills they needed, they certainly pushed them off. Now, Hanzo ult without grab doesn't necessarily always get kills, but it's definitely a big zoning ult. That just cone of damage is dangerous. Okay, and Otaku...
Yojak, Torp main.
Yeah, we'll see if they stick with this. This is interesting. I doubt they will, but could be definitely something to watch. However, it does seem that Peters is going to be on that Torb, Gecko on the Bastion, and then Ski on this Orisa. This is a heavy bunker comp.
Yeah, I'm seeing bunker from the defense this time, whereas last time we saw Smugs with Hanzo and we saw Sif with Sombra. So I'm interested to see how this plays out.
We'll see bunker versus bunker, and Meta Reject is the heavier bunker with the Torbjorn. But what that also means is that if Otaku gets dismounted, they have faster ability to get up, especially with Sif there on Hanzo poking out on the side. You can see he's already distracting Peters on the Torb, getting his turret. This is a big initial pick. Kingdom is on the floor. They just need to set up somewhere Otaku and be able to do this. Yojak and Pixel are just not together right now, and if they're able to regroup, then I think they can definitely push this. But right now, for me, Meta Rejects would seemingly be the one in charge, but apparently not. I guess, yeah, Ski's rid of the shield there.
I think that Otaku did a really good job there of trying to isolate and break everybody out from behind that bunker, from behind that shield. And they just picked them off one by one.
Definitely. And I don't like to point fingers, and I love Ski, but he did miss his shield there, which unfortunately meant that they just didn't have the protection they could have had up there. I think bunker versus bunker is always interesting, but it comes down to who breaks that shield first. And especially with a Torbjorn, who's not quite able to do the DPS on far out people, is interesting. Smug's on that Widow now. Just
0.01 meters. Gotta love it.
Peters is coming for Smokes, though, but gets taken out by Klopsy. That was an aggressive Torbjorn, and yeah. Well, we'll see if Meta Rejects is able to do what Otaku did to them. Ooh, Sif getting that an early pick on Beastman. That's big. That's big. They're coming back, and they'll be staggered one player for sure. Smugs is playing aggro with the Widow, trying to get line of sight. Managed to hit one shot on Ski. Ski is already half. Peter's on that Sombra now, though, and Gecko on the Junkrat. It seems they're just really trying to break down that bunker. Klopsy and Klopsy and Sif are playing high up there, but they get pushed off, but then they get pulled off. Kingdom and Ski are both overextended into them. And if they can get punished, this is very big. Ivy Cat getting the Ruz on Gecko, but that doesn't seem to be enough. Peter's getting a kill on Smugs, and Kingdom getting Klopsy demeched, but I don't think this is going to be enough. Still getting hit from above by Gecko now. Gecko and Ivy Cat together, talking to each other. Peter's hacking Yojak. Seem to be stalling it out. However, if I were Otaku, I might just be a little bit more aggressive here.
I would be too. They've got the man advantage here, or not anymore now, but they did.
They had the man advantage.
They had the man advantage. They could have capitalized, but I mean, when you look at it, Otaku there had free cart push Meta Rejects was fighting their backline. They
Yeah.
had Yojak and Pixel Rocket.
Okay, ult's being committed here. Big bomb by Kingdom, getting Yojak and Smugs. Pixel Rocket is far in there right now. Kingdom just stuck to him. Klopsy trying to help him, but that Mercy is just keeping up. Kingdom is just able to ignore Klopsy up until the very end there because of Ivy Cat's pocket. And Gecko coming back with Ski Free. Klopsy is just far in there. We'll see if Ski is able to demech Klopsy in the end. He does. And then Sip goes back onto that Genji, but Genji on defense is easier to deal with the Winston than when they're on attack. We'll see if Sip is able to still get the value that he's getting off the Hanzo up there. Yojak far up, top right. We'll see if they recognize that he's there, because I thought they saw him, but I could be wrong. Gecko sees him for sure. Yojak's gonna have to back off a tiny bit. Klopp's getting an early pick from Beastman, which is very big. Peter's coming in. EMP is out. Yojak is up in the air, but I think it might be just a little too little too late. Ski is out into Pixel Rocket and Klopsy beat Klopsy demexed. Klopsy remexed now, and they're just able to push in. Gecko on the left side. Doesn't seem to be too much of a threat by himself, but Peter's coming up. Immediately gets slept by Pixel. Beautiful sleep there. And they get .2. Okay. So now Kingdom is set up top with Skis, so they're playing high up, and Smug's playing that Soldier is able to just easily grasp, especially with his damage buff. So now they're just having little skirmishes up top while Cart gets pushed by itself. I think Otaku's just going to gain a lot of space here. Meta Reject doesn't commit to anything, especially with that Junkrat. They need to just set themselves down and play like a chokehold, create their own chokes. Sif in the back again as Genji, not able to do much against this, especially with an Ashe. The fire just goes through, and Peters is already at 50% to Bob. That is an insane amount of damage he must be outputting. Primal's being popped by Ski, pushing up through there. Gecko gets a pick on Pixel Rocket. They're definitely going to need a pushback on this and regroup. Now, Junkrat, I like to see them playing a little more aggressive because Junk in that hallway is dangerous, like you just see there with Klopsy getting demacked. It's just an insane amount of damage in that small hallway. And Peters on that Ashe already has Bob, so Meta Reject's Ulticon is just amazing. But Otaku kind of matches them and even outdoes them. The Nano Blade comes in. We'll see if they end up getting anything. He doesn't seem to be able to do much with it, though, which means not just Blade is wasted here, but Nano. Bob got slept as well, which Peters is... Bob didn't get much value out of it other than just stalling Cart, but I suppose that's worth it in its own self. They Visor and they Beat Drop in here, meaning they're still in this game. And Yojak in the background getting Beastman. They just did not peel for the backline as fast as they needed to. As Peters gets Yojak with Klopsy, and Smugs managed to get picks, and Smugs is still maintaining this front-facing damage, and Sif is up on Peters now. We'll see if Sif wins this with Kingdom. Nope, he backs off. Kingdom gets slept. Kingdom is now demacked yet again. Kingdom is this match just playing a lot of time out of match, and that's
In that
hurt them a lot.
fight, Otaku used 5 ultimates, and I believe Meta used 4. That was a lot of ultimates there. Otaku
A lot of
got the value
ultimates
they
pop,
needed.
but Otaku has already gained back a lot of their ults as it is. So despite the ults being popped, they still are in a pretty good spot overall. And that was a bomb, not a bomb, a tire that was not wasted, but didn't really get what they needed to do there if they wanted to really capitalize on it. Kingdom on the ball, just trying to stall out with Ski, but doesn't look like they're going to be able to hold this too well. But Ski does pop his Primal, which is very big. Klopp's getting that pick on Ivy Cat. Peters is back up. Peters is focusing on Sif while they're all doing it. Sif is in their back line. Sif with the Blade. Let's see if he's able to do much. This push, he hasn't been able to get much with his blades. Doesn't seem to be able to as Peters just outdoes him. But Pixel Rocket with a double kill, completely wiping out their DPS lineup. What do you think about that, Handy? Like, when you compare the two pushes, they were very different at the end there. Doing the two, managed to get 3 on 3. Otaku clearly having more time remaining, but...
Yeah, for Otaku, they had a little bit of a reset when Yojak died on their first push, but I mean, I really liked how they took the high ground for their first push. They made the fight, they took the fight to Meta Rejects. They didn't let Meta Rejects come to Cart, and I really liked that.
Yeah. It was very good. Like, Smugs was playing really far out there with that Soldier, and I think that's something you can do with Soldier now that he's been buffed a bit. He's able to survive by just doing outputting damage. Okay, we do not see. I'd be very excited if there's just no bunker comp, because honestly, the Bastion's little.
Do we go goats?
We don't go goats,
Goats?
but we do see a goats. Otaku seems to be taking this back a month or two, trying to see if they can just hold it down. While Meta Rejects has the Pharah and the Widow. Now, Widow can be hit or miss on goats because her direct damage isn't great, but if she's able to get those supports off, especially with squishy supports such as Braid and Zen and Lucio, if she's able to get those, that's big. So we'll see. They're holding far up with goats as well, immediately trying to contest them on point, knowing they don't have as much time as they do. Collapsy immediately up on Ivy. Not Ivy, Beastman. Peter's getting a pick, though. Gecko getting a pick. Peter's getting another pick. This is just big. Weirdly enough, Peter's managed to take away two of their most tanky players, and Meta Rejects is just showing them that goats really can be combated now with damage buffs. I like this Pharah, especially against goats as well. I think they need to switch it up, which they did. If is now on this Genji, Smugs is now on the Widow. They have something to counter both Widow and Pharah now, which I think are good. However, they just need to be careful. Pixel Rocket immediately getting picked by Peters, which is a big, massive pick. Where I think Sif just needs to play a little carefully, because each time he popped those blades earlier, he just wasn't getting much. Yojak managed to get Peters with a big damage dealer, but they're still pushing hard. Kingdom is just on there, Sif is on there by himself, the only one contesting. Yojak's now up, but Ski managed to just get two on Sif and Fluffle, just massive picks. Kingdom immediately taking out Yojak. Smugs is out there by himself, no one except for Flopsy really, so we just gotta really tell what's happening. Flopsy decides to fall back, Smugs gets picked by Gecko. This is just a pretty clean push because they don't have enough people now. Peters with an amazing pick on Sif there. Yeah, Otaku just got a little staggered at the beginning there and wasn't able to regroup at any point and just hold him down. Peters is definitely dealing the damage, showing why he's such a good Widow and why he's such a good DPS in general right now. And Gecko's just rating from above means they're not able to just regroup very much. This is just very good once they started staggering. Ski fighting with Yojak up top right now. Yojak does have Fluffle Puffs to heal him up a little bit, but they're all up there. Sif now dropping down. Beastman half. Sif and Yojak now on Gecko. Gecko gets taken down, kills himself. However, both DPS are down now for Meta Rejects, and Flopsy is the only one fighting on point. Flopsy's bomb comes out, but Ski doesn't seem to have bubble. We pop, trance, and bomb, and primal. That is three big ults for them right now. I suppose it's better to use them than waste them, but not much was accomplished with that other than just keeping apart for a couple meters. So we'll see. Sif pops Blade. There doesn't seem to be a Winston there to deal with him very much now, so it's just getting free reign, completely taking out Kingdom. Gecko pops ult, Pops is there with his DM to counteract it. Now we'll see if they're able to stall up point for much longer with Peters just trying to gain Tracer, but they just couldn't do it. Rocky start there.
Unfortunate. It was a rocky start, but
Otaku managed to take it.
They got through. It's still winnable.
Yeah. Well, now we've got to see. What do you think? What do you think they need to do here, Andy? Like, what do you think overall needs to be done in order to just push that fast? Because they do have more time. 2 minutes 20 seconds compared to the 1 minute that Meta Rejects had.
To be honest, I'd love to see the double sniper from Meta Rejects. I mean, they tried Bunker, they tried Bastion. It didn't really work that first time.
Okay.
Oh.
So defensive Mei. We haven't seen a Mei in a little bit, and I like a Mei.
We're seeing some Snoats. We're seeing
some Snoats. I like that. All right, and then on the side of Otaku, they've got Sif on Sombra, Smugs on Genji. I don't know if Yojak's gonna be sticking that. No, he switches off to Pharah. Now we'll see. Are they actually going triple DPS here with only Klopsy as a tank? We'll see. Or if Yojak's just going to switch back to main tankers. You would expect.
This guy.
Nope, there you go. He goes back to
There we go. Okay.
I was going to say, but I don't know. I've seen some weird stuff.
I like the positioning here.
Yeah, Meta Reject's playing hard forward. Kingdom's going to wall him off, I bet, and then do it. But they seem to be playing a little carefully. They know they're expecting. They don't see them. Sif with the far flank, that is very good by Sif. He's forcing them out. They're going right side. I like that by Otaku. Kingdom immediately using his own self-heal there, which means if they were to put claps on him... Oh, Sif gets taken out by Gecko, though. Easily. And Meta Reject's big anti by Pixel Rocket there. And Kingdom just holding him off with that wall, just staggering him out a bit. Yojak gets trapped behind it, even though it was there. A little iffy overall. Fluff Puffs does get a pick early on from Beastman. Lucio v. Lucio. But they seem to be still holding it. Ski got hacked there. Sick. And Yojak seems to be pushed up a little bit. They don't confirm it. Okay, they do confirm the kill on Yojak. Flufflepuffs is on cart, pushing. Pixel Rocket sleeps Peters. Good sleep by him. They're able to just fall back. Clop, never mind. Kingdom walls him off. It's a big wall. If they can just confirm that kill on Flufflepuffs. Flufflepuffs stayed alive there for so long. Not able to do much, but still could have been killed. Sip is in their back. Now Smug's on that Sparrow that we saw. We'll see if they're able to just push him off. Meta Rejects committing a lot here and looks to be paying off. Okay, Yojak playing far back. Moira Coalescence is popped. They seem to be holding it still quite well. Otaku just doesn't seem to be putting very much pressure on Meta Rejects overall, but Nano and Winston does come out into their backlines, we'll see. Ivy Cat looks like she's very low, could fall, but Yojak's forced off. Yojak does get a pick from Kingdom, though. Ski is holding up. Grab coming out. We'll see if... That's a big, though, because there's Primal Winston. EMP on side of Otaku coming out. And Gecko hacked on point, not able to do very much by himself. Alright, looks like Otaku finally got that, but that was a massive hold. Now Otaku basically has half the time that Meta Rejects had in total to go the same amount of space. Yojak and Sif playing very far up. Peter's getting a pick on Smugs, though. Sif still deciding to play far, falls back. I think Otaku's going to be able to I don't know if Otaku's going to be able to take this all the way. Meta Rejects was able to regroup. Bomb comes in. Gecko is asleep. That's a confirmed kill on Gecko.
Good play.
Beastman popped B, I think, to try to save Gecko, but wasn't able to. Smug's getting Peters. I take it back. I think Otaku can take this. Kingdom is low. They can confirm on Kingdom quickly. Ski's antied and low as well. Trying to get that pixel, but the healing from Flufflepuffs is just too much. Nano Clopsy is a lot of damage coming out. Kingdom using his self-heal, but Pixel Rocket just continuing to heal them all up. Yojak getting those 2 picks on Beastman and Ivy Cat. Massive overall. Now Sif just playing far forward.
Yeah, for that fight there, like I really liked how Otaku initiated and they got the picks from them. Because of that, they had more man, they had more people to be able to carry out that fight and eventually win it.
Yeah, definitely. And Yojak and Smugs both playing pretty far up right now, just making sure that they do it. But Kingdom is getting into their backlines with that wall, but they seem to be in there. Big Blizzard coming in, as well as an ult by Smugs. We'll see if Kingdom's able to do anything with Ivy Cat's Coalescence. They seem to be winning this with 3 picks. Smugs getting grabbed there. There was a solo grab, but I think they're trying to get Yojak in there as well. I think overall that grab could have been safe, but then again, it is overtime, so if they win this fight, then they win it. But they need to get that baby diva. She's alive on point and an easy target. Flufflepuffs does get taken down, which is a very big pick for them. Peters, again on the Stario, just showing his tracking ability as DPS really pops out. Sif's EMP coming out, Kingdom is low. Ivy Cat's taken. This is by no means a one fight by massive shatter by Ski Free with the beats followed up to make sure they stay alive. That was very good. Now Flufflepuffs is walled in there with them based off the gate closing. That was a very good hold and a great map for Meta Rejects.
Yeah, like both teams showed a lot of good plays. Like I think that I really liked Otaku's, initiation with it. Unfortunately for them, I was going to mention that because they used those ults, now coming into this gate, Meta Rejects had 3 ults there. I believe they had Shattered, they had Blizzard, and I think they may have had Grav. Those were the 3 ults they had. They got value out of them. Ski had a massive shatter at the end there. Ultimately took it.
Yeah, definitely for sure. Flufflepuffs is Lucio with 20,000 healing. That is an insane amount. His healing as well as damage output was...
for Smugs. 30% of team damage.
Yeah, Smugs was doing really well there. He kept pushing out really far to get those picks, especially on that first push. But I think in the end that kind of doomed them because early on there, Otaku was playing so far up that the 3 people on point, Kingdom was able to just walk behind them and pop Blizzard. And that just caused them all have to fall back, and then Meta Rejects was able to just collapse in on them. And they could take that fight really close up.
I really liked Kingdom's wall, too. He was using the walls to be able to block the choke and separate Otaku from the rest of the team that was respawning back in. I think that was also another reason why they took that last there.
All right. Well, again, as we said, Handy here, my good friend, teammate, and co-host for a short while, has unfortunately been cut short due to personal business that he just needs to get to, which is totally understandable. Thank you for doing at least one map with me. I think he'll have to be leaving now.
But
so,
because
Steve,
of
I love you.
These unfortunate natures, a veteran caster has returned to the team. You may know him as the toxic Zuby that everyone loves to hate. But you'll learn to love for this caster now.
Well, thank you, Zuby, for filling in.
Thank you, Zuby.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Give him a round of applause. Thank you
also
also for working cameras. You're doing double the work.
What a guy.
Yeah. What a man. Give him a round of applause for sure.
Well, these things happen, so it's okay. As long as we're having a good cast and the cast gets to enjoy it. So we are actually going to be seeing Nepal for our next map.
Yeah, I find control maps always kind of boring to watch in a strange way. Because, like I said this last cast with Sif specifically, we both agreed on this, which is that it tends to end up just being not necessarily one-on-ones, but a lot more just teams fighting each other without using the map to their advantage or having to worry about an objective very much. It's just bash your heads against each other and then see who comes out on top, and that person coming out on top is the team that's going to win the fight. Mm-hmm. While with payload or doing that, you don't see any C9s very often. You don't see any oh no, like in the last match where Kingdom was able to walk back on them and then have the entire team collapse on them, and that's why they won the fight. Instead, it's just, oh, did Kingdom get the first pick? Or did Pixel Rocket get the first pick? So, what do you think of control maps specifically?
Personally, for myself, I've always been a big fan of them, especially in this current meta that we are in. We do see a lot more DPS picks that tend to be more viable, whereas Goats just usually is the norm. Nepal may not be the best one for that, but we will definitely attempt to see what's going to be run by these two teams. I'm pretty sure in that Goats v Goats matchup, though, the meta rejectors are more of the meta embracers in these situations here.
Yeah, for sure. Especially with such a strong tank lineup of Ski and Kingdom. There's no lying there. And then Peters on Zarya is just always a joy to watch.
Zarya is a DPS in the right hands.
Yes, indeed she is. It's not very rare, but you do occasionally see gold damage and gold elims just all around for the Zarya.
Oh,
all right, so let's see what the comps are like. So we do see that Goats coming out for meta rejects, and then we see the Sombra Goats coming out for Otaku here.
Not known as Otaku's strongest comp, though.
No, it's not known as the strongest comp. However, we do have Sif now, and Sif who's getting some pretty good EMPs. Last round we saw him on Sombra, so maybe some changes up. We'll definitely, add some fresh, work. And Sombra Goats against Goats, I think almost always wins. So I think it'll be very interesting to watch this.
I think it's definitely good for them to scout as well too. As Sif
an immediate hack, immediately on Abe, which means Abe has to back off. There's a big amount of healing coming off of him. Ski's got the Discord on him, so does Yojak, but Yojak has the harm. Yeah, they just basically are trading back.
Oh, the big hack on the Ski though.
Ooh, yeah, that means he can't push forward. They have to almost give up the point. We'll see if they try to contest it all. No, they do not. They are still grouped up, though. And ult charge seems fairly even between the two. However, Yojak's only at 30% to shatter, while Ski's already at 90.
We're going to be
Sif
paying
is in their backline, though. They're just fighting over on the right side of point. Shatter coming up by Ski doesn't seem to land on anyone. Beat coming out by Flufflepuffs. Rally is out there for Abe. Peters gets that on Sif, but a grab comes out on the side of Otaku, getting the 4-man. Big shadow by Yojak.
Fantastic! Oh my god.
On anything. Ooh, Yojak just spinning to winning. Beastman and Peters though still on point. They did not take them out. Peters has got the Discord on him.
And he's not long for this world after that. That's definitely for sure.
I would have tried to stagger Kingdom there a little bit more than they did there, but I suppose they're in a dominant position here.
They're in the dominant position. You know, they get to flex their muscle a little bit in these situations here.
It's always better to watch be like, we won the point clearly than having that little diva running around and then saying, oh, we won the point.
And they do have the ultimates coming online very, very soon.
They do. They do. Ski does not have Shatter, though, and Yojak's higher up in that. Rallies pop immediately to try to
They're going to be watching here, though. With no diva here, the grab is always free.
Yeti gets taken out early, and the grab comes out, but the trance is there to protect him from it. Hat coming out on Abe. Abe again is having to play back, and they are just jumping off the kill. So, well, I guess Fuffle got the push on there. I can see that. Alright, Sif watching the right side to see if anyone's trying to get around the side. Peters is again trapped on the inside. They're doing a very good job of just separating off Peters, I guess.
That they are. No, they are definitely zoning him. That's the carry of the meta rejects there, or definitely one of their better players. So a good team like Otaku will definitely try to zone them. Smugs here with the grab, though, is going to be a very, very crucial thing.
Ooh, okay, so they get Beastman, but Beastman pops it. Both support ults coming out there, and Beastman doesn't able to get anyone.
Not even able to touch.
No, Otaku managed to do that. Now, Sombra Goats may not be their strong suit, but they're definitely proving why Sombra is such a deadly counter to Goats itself.
Oh, yeah, no, all those EMPs there are definitely taking Ski Free out of the equation. And you know what?
Oh, yeah.
With limited resources, the main tank, maybe not as strong as Yojak has, that's just an infinite disadvantage that this team will
Definitely. And one thing about the EMP, which I think is maybe even the strongest thing about it, is that it's basically just an ultimate farm.
Yep.
Because as soon as that goes, there's almost no defense you can do. So then it's just, let's have everyone charge their ults. So by the time Sif uses his ult, they basically gain all the other people's ult, and then he's able to gain it all back. So Otaku's being able to have this dominant ult economy compared to this. But Kingdom is now on this May. We'll see how this works against it.
Well, you usually tend to see the off-tank play these roles a lot more, especially too, just due to the fact that the nature of the off-tank allows you to have that easy transition while keeping the charge on your Zarya, and also having that Diva come in.
But again, Abe gets hacked. Oh, but this time now Panda's trapped in there with them. So although Abe is the one without the defensive ability, he is the one who gets taken down. I mean, he
But
gets
Ski
the
did
win
just
there.
go down too, and that's a huge advantage there for Otaku.
Definitely, definitely. Yojak gets frozen, Kingdom stays alive, Bubblepops gets bubbled so he can get out of there. There's a good bubble by Smugs. Smugs is still alive, getting out. We'll see if he's able
Peter
to
with
survive.
2 picks, though.
Wiping up that support line, trying to get out of there.
He is behind an ultimate charge there, though. Smugs, even with going down early, is still surpassing him just by those fractions of percents.
Yeah,
that will add up.
I think it's also Smugs was able to stay alive there and get out, which means he retains some ult charge, although not a lot. That 20% ult charge, not ult charge, but Zarya charge is definitely not worth scoffing at for any reason.
Oh no, it most certainly isn't, but see, Peter will eventually get that charge faster.
Look at this. Pixel! Massive by Pixel Rocket. He manages to out 1v1 Kingdom while he's by himself.
Massive shatter.
Big shatter, managed to get Smugs, that's big. Smugs was nearly at grab. He could have maybe farmed it up in that time.
Oh, a terrible EMP coming out from Sif, though. That was a horrible time considering the amount that you were down. And he's about to get staggered out, too.
To me, that seemed like just a little bit of bad communication there. Especially considering they were up there by Pixel Rocket. By all means, Kingdom getting taken out at the beginning, there should have been a critical loss. But Ski managed to get that shatter, and it does, I think, indeed win them that.
Yeah, but as we're going to see now, Otaku's going to make this high ground push. Because going through that small choke, you are going to be at a very big disadvantage due to the May.
Yeah.
Kingdom's ult is going to be coming online, though.
Yeah, and Sif switched from Sombra to May, and May does
no defensive
take a bit
ults
longer.
either.
Yeah. Big shatter, though, just defending against that shield, meaning they can do some damage out there.
Oh, the defensive ult manages to come out last second there.
Yeah.
But still.
Oh, but they are down. Be hard-pressed to win this fight, but I'm not counting them out yet.
Oh, but it looks like
Smugs does get a pick on Abe.
Meta Rejects actually having the advantage here in this fight.
Peters is just in their backline, just trying to take out Pixel Rocket right now. Focused very heavily, and Sif and Smugs just had to ignore him.
And there we go. That's going to be Meta Rejects capping this point here.
Yeah. Compared to the other one, Meta Rejects just look so much more dominant on that map. And Sanctum is a very interesting one to end it on. it's the least plant yourself down and just hold it, I think, of all the Nepal maps, and it's the one that the most funky stuff can happen, just whether that be environmental kills or just going around on the right side most fights, taking place off point.
But once again, these are moments too where we can actually see the DPS coming out more often. Triple DPS is usually a thing here. It looks like it's going to be slightly more bunker style coming out from Meta Rejects here, but that dive is going to be crucial for Otaku here in order to take control of this game mode.
Yeah, and Smugs is playing that fair, which I generally speaking really like, especially on Sanctum. However, Peters on Widow is dangerous, especially with Abe on Hanzo. It means Smugs is going to have a hard time getting much out, like value out of just being
Abe already taking a lot of damage now at the moment.
Yeah,
oh,
and Peters is low. Smugs immediately takes out Abe. Kingdom is low, Ski is low, Peters is half. This is very dominant. Ski is by himself on point. Kingdom trying to peel for him, but not able to do very much. Now Kingdom is just left out there to give Otaku a lot of ults. And if you look at the ult charge, although no one's really gotten their ult full yet, everyone on Otaku is basically at 50% or higher, while Ski has 1% due to switching just off to Monkey now. And the next most you have is Kingdom, Bomb, but that's not going to be the biggest ult, especially on this map.
We are going to be seeing Peter switching over to the Tracer here.
Yeah.
Very high-skilled hero. Not as used often, but in the right hands, she is still a scary sight.
Sif popping Hanzo ult early on here to try to separate them off. Kingdom is separated off to the left side. Peter's in the back, though. Peter spots Sif and is now fighting him, but has to back off due to Flufflepuff's and Pixel Rocket knocking him too hard. Smug's getting a pick on Ivy Cat, Beastman immediately resing that. And Abe is low again. Abe is just constantly low, trying to deal with this Smug's Pharah. I guess I was wrong here.
We're waiting to see if it can happen.
Yeah. Seeing Pharah barrages, especially when there is no combo ult really to do it with, is always interesting to watch because it does immobilize you and makes you very dangerous. So he manages to get it off but not do anything with it.
Kingdom with the bomb.
Picked. Yeah, Kingdom's bomb, which I think otherwise wouldn't have gotten anything, but because of the ult by Smugs, does get it. Sif gets on Ivy Cat and Peters is down. Smugs gets Abe in the end.
Oh, this is a lost fight though. Even with these people here, they need to regroup. They are just letting themselves stagger out horribly at this moment.
I think all the credit for that fight deserves to be given to Pixel Rocket there, though, with that res on Smugs. Because even though Smugs unfortunately got caught out after using his ult onto the Kingdom ult, he immediately got rezzed by Pixel and then just continued with the barraging. And Abe was down and wasn't able to help. He just had free reign again. Peters on Sif, backs out. Pulse Bomb is used, but miss. Yojack's out. Panda's on Ski. Okay, but they are on point now, which means they have to fall back. Primal is out. Ooh, Ski nearly falls off the map there. And Beastman is just has to fly into the Hanzo ult, is low. Bomb comes out on the point, doesn't catch anyone, but Sif with the double kill. Smugs with the barrage. Kingdom is able to delete
a lot of resources though being used there. Pixel Rocket with another res in the middle of a team fight. She is going to go down, and she is going to pay for that one though.
Okay, Visor comes out but gets booped off, but then killed beforehand. Peters has to try to stall this out, but isn't able to.
Oh, he's definitely trying here, but it doesn't look like it's going to be happening.
And then the beat gets added onto it. There's definitely.
And that is going to be.
Yeah, Otaku wins the map, looking dominant on the two maps that they did win. I think. Now, there's something to be said about the fact that the two big fights that they've won so far, for Meta Rejects at least, has been when Kingdom was on that May.
More so even the Goats comp.
Yeah.
The Somber Goats wasn't exactly their biggest contest there, but they still were able to do a lot with that May Goats. And that was a telling story as well for Junkertown.
Mm-hmm. I think Otaku played very well overall, but the times when they started to stagger and they just started losing communication, I think, on a village there. And when they lost that communication, you saw Sif pop that strange EMP that just didn't look natural or look like anything else that they've done all night.
It looked very uncomfortable. It looked like he was trying to force a play, and those aren't the moments you want to force a play. You want to save those big ultimates like EMP.
Yeah, it reminded me in like Dark Souls, how Dark Souls has Q up for damage and moves, so you might just spam roll, but then you realize, oh no, because I've pressed it 6 times, it's now coming out even though I just got hit. It looked like they just were calling out stuff, They meant to do it, but they just didn't quite get it in on the exact time, causing them to all stagger through, and that lost them that one little map. But overall, Otaku just looked very dominant.
And it looks like we are about to be going on to break right now as well, too. We are just going to be setting up these moments right here. So we will be back at 9:17 for those who are still watching. Thank you, guys.
All right.
We are back.
Yeah. Well, 1-1. Definitely still going to be a tight one. We'll see if it's another 5-game match. Another feature. Definitely be exciting if there was. So, like, what specifically do you think we should be paying attention to now? Now that we've seen a couple games of playing.
Well, I think we definitely are going to be seeing a lot of... we definitely are going to be seeing a lot of goats in this map, just because of the low-ground nature of them.
We did see Ski Free, though, getting subbed off. So what do you think as far as goats, then, for meta?
Even with goats slightly being less meta and having definitely a few different options against it, it's still going to be one of the more viable picks.
Okay.
Compositions now, whether it be the standard 3-3 that we're seeing with like the Zen and the Diva Zarya Ryan combo.
Yeah. Okay, so then with Peters on that Zarya, and he's so strong on Zarya because, as we said before, basically just a DPS, and Peters one of, if not the best DPS in the league. When we're looking for a Zarya play, acting as DPS against maybe a comp that isn't playing goats, do you think he should be playing more aggressive or less aggressive than their main tank?
Are you talking about the Reinhardt right here? Sorry, I was taking care of lobby issues at the moment.
Oh no, I'm just saying, like, with Peters being such a good, strong DPS, and then playing Zarya, let's say, just say for goats, if Meta Rejects was to play goats, what do you think when I say Peters should be playing more aggressive as Zarya than the main tank, or less aggressive?
You definitely don't want to be the one out-aggressing your main tank. And in general, Goats is such a composition that functions as a team base. So,
yeah,
if your team is playing aggressive, then you play aggressive. You don't want to be the one out-aggressing your Rhine, for the most part.
Yeah.
If need be. But there are situations where it can happen.
Yeah. Okay, well, it definitely doesn't look like either team's playing Goats, for sure. We see Peters on that Genji and Alayla on the Sombra, which is always good to see. Kingdom on the Zarya, and Gecko on the Rhine. And then we see Bunker Comp for Otaku. They seem to be holding up in the cafe, which can be a very hard hold, but at the same time, I always get worried when I see people holding up in the cafe, because I always think, okay, well, you just get one person to run to point, and then hold in the cafe, and then they have to collapse in on you.
An interesting one right now, though, is we are going to be seeing Gecko over on the Reinhardt, which is a very rare pick for him.
Yeah. Yeah, but I suppose they don't really have anyone other than Kingdom who play Rhine then for them right now. So, yeah, it'll definitely be interesting overall to just see how he plays it. Okay, so they're falling back. They're going to switch off, looks like. So we might not be seeing Gecko on the Reinhardt in the end. No, we see him on the Winston. Yeah. We see Peters switch over to Hanzo, and then Layla stays on Sombra. Now, it's nothing to scoff at, the fact that Otaku already has about 20% to 15% ult for everyone, while Meta Rejects doesn't have anyone, but they are diving forward. Gecko misses the jump up to the top of the cafe. I don't know if that's what they're going for. Massive anti, and I-field immediately gets projected. They can get the I-field down and push back up, but Kingdom is one, nearly
big pick right there for Peter, initiating that one.
Massive. Getting that down, and then Beastman able to get smugs there. And again, this is what I don't like about holding up in cafe, because if you just gain slight dominance, just underneath there, then you really are just able to just push on and up and cap it. You just can't do anything. So that was just a really strong picks, and Peter's just popping off, as you always see him do. And Sif there, getting some charge, he's nearly to EMP, but it just
not too
turned.
Far behind, though. Not too far behind
but
at all.
Yeah, the table seemed to have almost completely turned as far as ult economy goes. Meta Rejects in a pretty damn good spot right now, with Abe nearly having trance, and Nano already there, 50% to Sombra EMP, which is pretty easy to gain, and Gecko immediately onto Sombra, so I'm gonna have to back off. Yojak drops down a little too far ahead of everyone else. I think it's launched into the other team, which means they won't be getting any value out of that. Abe
Gecko
does take it
is
down.
going to be winning this Winston war right now, though.
He does seem to be. He is nanoed as well. So Peters gets Yojak, Alayla gets Hybrid, and it just looks like Otaku just needs to back off right now. Klopsy getting D-mech'd as well is a big hit for them as far as staggers go. And Alayla, we'll see if we're able to get. We'll see if they're able to get Smugs here, who's pushed up really far. Klopsy does get taken, and they both get taken. That is a big stagger. Sif does have EMP though, and as we were saying before, it is a game-winning ult.
He does have the EMP, but he's about to get staggered out by Kingdom.
Oh, Gecko and Kingdom are just able to corner him and take him down.
He was completely zoned out.
Yeah. Yojak is up top. Peters does see him though, pushes him down. They're fighting on point. Yojak getting a pick onto Abe, but they do just get the point anyway. So all the fights here will be more or less in vain unless they're able to continuously stagger. Peters and Kingdom does get Smugs and Klopsy, respectively.
This is, though, a blisteringly fast pace coming in from
Meta
Rejects.
Definitely, for sure. Hybrid is on the left just gaining ult, but Abe managed to get him down.
Abe with huge picks.
Hitting him hard. Yeah, this is slightly strange though, because it keeps seeming like Otaku should be winning these, because they were up with 2 picks there, but then they just weren't able to confirm anything. I guess it's because they just gained a point and respawn is so quick. Sif is in the back, looks like he's going to be EMPing. We should watch out. EMP comes out with Bomb. Trance does pop out though. It was a good safeguard by Abe there. Yojak is just pushing in the back. Pops Primal.
Oh, but a
he
big
gets
slip!
Immediately woken up, but still. And Alayla is just in the back, gaining ult. Big EMP coming out, Blade coming out as well. We'll see if they actually get much out of this, though.
Oh.
Peters does get 2 picks, both on the support. That's massive. Gecko coming in, getting Sif. Kingdom D-Mech and Klopsy, and getting Yojak and Alayla finishing off with Klopsy. That is a clean and easy wipe by Meta Rejects. Gecko playing far up, Ball coming out, but Bomb is on point. Smugs is hacked, Smugs is down. Continuing to push up. Gecko, even though getting sleep there, is able to just body block his way. Klops coming out, Sif on point, Yojak, they're just going for stalling at this point, but doesn't seem like they're going to
Yojak
do
missing
too
an
much.
easy headshot over on the Ana as well, too.
Yeah, this all in all just really feels like Otaku just grasping at whatever they can find, trying to just get a foothold in anything, but Puffs and Hybrid, the only 2 on point, and not able to hold it.
They did
That
shed
is
a little bit of time.
Wonderful and beautiful push by Meta Rejects right there, though. All the way through, some slight staggers, but never truly losing a fight. The most they would ever lose was just a couple seconds, or maybe 1 or 2 picks that should have happened, but all in all, Otaku just wasn't able to gain their ground. I think they were kind of staggered, either physically or just mentally, for the entire duration of that round.
And 3 minutes as well, too. That is a blisteringly fast pace that you can actually have for this map as well, too, to cap with, and still have in the time bank in case they do manage to push it all the way for Otaku.
Yeah, definitely, for sure. I mean, Otaku is going to have to do something really quite special, because that Ryan by Meta Rejects is going to be damn hard to beat. And if I do see it beaten, I will truly be a happy man, because I have seen an astonishing game. Hybrid on the Doomfist. We don't see this very often. We'll see if he sticks with it.
This is just going to be a little bit more of a meme pick right here. Hybrid.
Yeah, I doubt he will, but I keep hoping. Every time I see these picks at the beginning, I'm just hoping that they finally actually go with it. So, okay, so Meta Rejects is doing exactly what Otaku's doing.
But they are committing more to the anti-dive with it, though. They are going to be running that BAP. They are going to be running that
Brig and Mercy. So that Peters is the only real damage as far as like direct damage goes. Not saying Kingdom and Gecko can't do it with Orisa and
Brig is a very, very low utility hero in this kind of composition. Only good for when they initiate those dives. If they don't...
They're going to be relying quite heavily on Abe here to just keep that pocket on Peters. Now, they're immediately on dive, though, for Otaku, so already in a slightly better spot than Meta Rejects was at the beginning. And Sif coming in underneath, they're immediately on point. Kingdom dropping, though, luckily, unlike what Otaku did, only one dropping. And Smugs is underneath. Smugs is low, Puff is pretty low. Smugs gets picked, Sif is in the back. Sif is trying to get that hack off of Peters, but he just doesn't have the line of sight. Klopsy is low as well, having to back off of that. And Sif just playing a dangerous game, sitting so close, but he warps out of it.
They're just going to be taking a lot of poke here. They don't want to be peeking that.
For sure,
Very good defense matrix, though. You can see the teamwork coming out from Otaku as they're able to even have those little interactions with each other.
Yeah, you can see the gears churning, just like they're like waiting.
They are sending a couple of rounds, though.
Now we'll see if they commit to anything. So Sif gets a hack off, but it's on the Orisa, which, unless they focus down that shield, doesn't gain too much value off of that hack. Smug's playing really far up, but doesn't get anything at the deflect, and Peters just getting that picks off. Need to be done. And Otaku's only ult there was Hybrid, and Hybrid just got picked off really early on. Smugs is still on Peters, but Beastman managed to get Smugs while Smugs is occupied with trying to deflect.
Funny little interaction there with Smugs just holding his deflect down.
Yeah.
And Peter just staring directly at him. You hate to see it.
You hate to see it, but it's what you gotta do with the Bastion, I'm afraid. I think... they're just playing this cafe much better than Otaku was. But Smug's doing something really tricky here, just playing really by himself. We'll see if Kingdom actually is able to push him off. And I think if they were playing that, then they should have just pushed in. Hybrid already at half, though. And, Beastman getting down Yojak.
They are waiting on their combos.
Still playing close right.
They're
waiting for those ults to grow up and just be able to use them, but that pick on Yojak is definitely putting them back a couple seconds.
And Peter with a little bit of the BM tossing down the E mode there.
Hey, I mean, Bastion's working hard sitting still, man. You gotta take a seat back every now and then. Oh, the Trance coming in, EMP coming out, Blade coming out, immediate pick on Peters, with Gecko getting that pick on Sif. Smugsman get Beastman, Yojak getting a Klops getting Gecko.
3 ultimates being used there. They still actually managed to keep a relatively calm and collected ult economy there.
Yeah.
But 6 are coming online for Meta Rejects. Whether they're going to be staying on this composition or switching anything up is yet to be seen.
Okay, and Yojak and Smugs, again, playing the thing that they're doing on Junkertown, which is just being really aggressive, which worked out for them initially on tech, but then also was their downfall on that final match. Klopsy getting D-Mech there is a big pick as well, especially with Kingdom on him. Kingdom falling back and Gecko doing this. They are committing to this Bastion, though, because they have the ults for it. I think Gecko getting that early pick on Sif there was definitely good. Abe is asleep, though. They're not getting that healing, and Kingdom's ult coming out. And
weird placement.
Not really... Yeah. That, to me, felt more like maybe I should just switch off to something else, so I'm just going to pop it because I need to pop it eventually. But, I mean, hey, we'll see what they're doing. They're playing up on the bridge, but Peters isn't up there with them yet. Peters is coming up now, pocketed by the Abe. Isn't set down, though, in turret, and there we go. Now they're set back up into the bunker.
They forced the Primal as well, too. He was in a terrible position for that.
Sure. Yojak's now trying to hop up behind him, but not able to do much, and immediately gets bashed by the Brigitte. And Bomb doesn't connect much. Peter's popping out with the ult, but the beat does drop down. Smugs pops his blade. Hybrid getting the pick on Peters. Kingdom getting the pick on Sif. Smugs' ult just popping through. But Smugs does get taken down. Gecko taking Hybrid now.
The Forgita comes out.
Diva. Yeah. We'll see how they're holding this down, because Klopsy is just sort of in the back, taking a lot of damage, feeding them ult charge right now. And Kingdom and Alayla both. Kingdom's ult can just clear them out if they need to. And although Peters was picked there, they're able to just come back. And now they've got less of a bunker comp, and we'll see how they're playing around them. Because they're still going triple support. Peters the only DPS, but now it's Genji's and Bastion. And that's not quite as much DPS output as I would want, personally. But if it works. Yojak diving in the back, Kingdom fighting him. Sif now on Kingdom as well. And Kingdom is getting fairly low here. He might have to Pop ult. Yep, he's popping bomb. Peter's getting those picks, though.
Nothing coming out from it, but you know what? That remech is still more crucial for that situation here.
Kingdom, I think there just felt, I'm going to pop this ult. I was low. I didn't want to get demeched.
Smug's here trying to find some form of a pick, though. He's going to put the walls down. See if anything comes from it.
Oh, but Peters is on him. Yeah, again, Smokes this game, when you've seen him playing DPS, he's playing really quite far out compared to his team, trying to get those early picks, but he didn't quite seem to be able to get them that fight, which just meant that he got picked off early, and then Yojak's Monkey got picked off, and they just felt a little staggered. I think they're playing a real difficult game of, big pick though by Smugs, getting a Layla early on there. Kingdom taking damage as well, and he's already half having to fall back a little bit. Smugs getting another pick, Yojak getting another pick. Blade coming out here by Peter though.
Oh, big! He does get two!
Big!
Is it about to be
he able to get Smugs? Can he get the Smugs pick?
The Genji up one there. Is the one that's more likely. He does get the Genji.
Beastman getting Smokes. Peters gets Sith. Klopsy and Hybrid on point. Peters on Hybrid immediately. Peters does get anti, but Kingdom does get Hybrid. Klopsy is getting pushed back real far. That was a beautiful play by Peters there, saving them that push. Or saving them that hold, I should say.
Peter with an incredible blade as well, too, managing to pick up the 3 there while his team is just in a dire straight situation. A second point hold on this map is very unheard of as well, too.
Ooh, Yojak playing a little far forward. Why? I guess it was because he wanted to get to point. Bubble Puff does get a pick early on in Layla, but that's not much. And then,
Sif with another big blade as well, too.
Yeah, Sif getting the blade, but I was more confused on Gecko there. He turned his shield, which was full charge, and got picked by that Diva ult. I don't know if that was just recognizing the fight was lost, or if that was just a misplay by him, but Peter's coming out trying to get another pick, but I don't think he's going to be able to.
He did manage to get one.
He does, and they're not able to kill him. He gets 2 now, and they're all back up here. Is he able to do it again and save it for his team with that bout? Okay, Kingdom does pop bombs.
And they
get it.
It's no C9, but Meta Rejects with a convincing win over Otaku right there.
Peters, you gotta give it to Peters there.
Yeah.
We're not talking MVP of the entire game. It's definitely MVP of this match.
Yeah.
Because 2 back-to-back blades that get 2 picks in dire situations, like, you can't ask more of a DPS player than what he just did.
That's definitely going on the montage for him. That's for sure. 73% kill participation as well, too.
Yeah.
Mind-boggling. And then little Abe in the corner there, too. I see you, Abe. We see you. Don't worry.
Yeah. You are not forgotten. But Meta Rejects looking convincingly strong on that match.
That they were.
And I don't want to say this as an insult in any manner, but Otaku seemed they kept staggering themselves almost. They kept going in, whether or not they were down a person, or because they were just playing really far away from the cart when they maybe should have just been playing together a little bit.
Honestly, as well, too, they looked a little scared. Yojak was giving up a lot of space, which is very uncharacteristic of him, especially on his monkey, because
definitely.
He's normally the one who just goes back and tends to set at least a little bit of the tone for the team, but
and you could even see that with their Bastion hold on Cafe. With Meta Rejects, they were beautifully doing that with only Kingdom. Every time someone got on that point, only Kingdom would go down. Like, only Kingdom would just push them off. Yep. But Otaku, they had about 2 people up there, and then they all just dropped.
Yeah. And as well,
that just meant they just couldn't hold it.
As well, too, that incredible recontest right there for that last second. Peter literally being down to, 1 health and managing to just press that shift and get the blade out there in order to get those 2 picks that his team needed. And then once they did, that ending was just
for sure.
For them.
I don't know if Otaku after Peters was left alone, they thought, it's just a Genji. Maybe we can, try to stagger him. Maybe they were calling for staggers. Or maybe they were just thinking, okay, it's just one person. We're going to go ahead and say, you deal with him, and then we're going to go up front and create a front line. But they definitely should have just all focused on him. You can't underestimate a Genji with Genji Blade. It's not something to just ignore or act as if it's just a baby diva.
We are going to be seeing a few different swaps coming up from Meta Rejects, as Ivy is going to be subbed out for Beastman, and Ski Free is going to be coming back. But after a game like that, I'm not sure that you want to switch up anything as meta rejects. If you don't have to switch up those roster right there, and in that dominant fashion that your team just being carried there, you want to keep rolling with the hot hand. Hopefully this doesn't come to backfire.
Yeah, but to be fair, this is 2 CP.
This is 2 CP.
I got rid of Handy. Now I still got you. This is 2 CP, though. And 2 CP, anything can happen.
That it is. It's
like anything. It could go on for ages. It could be just a one-and-done roll. And I think if they feel more comfortable getting Ski out there and getting Beastman out there and just making it be so that they have a solid Reinhardt who they just feel like, okay, we know what we're doing with this one. If they've practiced 2 CP and they've only practiced with Ski, and despite the high morale they might have after that one, I would personally feel more comfortable with the people that we've practiced with.
Yeah. Well, it actually looks like they are going to be leaving in Ivy Cat. Beastman is not going to be subbed in, but Ski Free will still be coming in. And, you know, Ski Free, definitely a high performer for his level there.
For sure, for sure. His shatters this game have been almost all connecting with more than one person. And there's something to be said about just having a Reinhardt who's able to make sure that his shatters hit, especially on maps like Volskaya, which are all about those chokes. If he's able to just make sure that Yojak's shield is down and then just get a 5-man and just stall that out, get some people back, that's all we need. Now on defense, we do see the DPS combo from Otaku of Sif on Genji and Smugs on Pharah, which on Junkertown was doing them quite well. So we'll see if they're able to hold this down, but they don't have a Reinhardt, and they seem to be playing high ground, while Ski is on that Rein and playing Goats. So we'll see how the Goats goes against this Pharah, because last time they did this, it didn't fare very well. But they are on TCP able to just push straight in.
The meta embracers will be embracing this meta right now, that is for sure.
Oh yeah, for sure. Sure. Now Smug's trying to get a little recon, playing on the right side, it looks like. Just barraging in. Immediately taking damage onto Abe. And they just
big pick coming
falls down. Big pick. Massive, massive by Smugs. Sif is playing in the back, definitely on Peters, is he on, or is he falling back? Ivy Cat by himself. Big pin by Ski. Getting Panda far out there. Never collapse on Panda. Nice. That was a very good pin.
Oh, these are big
and now,
picks.
Yeah, Otaku is down, and they're able to regroup, just push in on this. They will need to be focusing on Smugs, though, because Smugs does have the Discord on him, which means they can do something, too. But Ski is in there by himself, quite far up, and he gets slept and punished for that. That was an unfortunate situation where I believe he probably didn't communicate super well with his team that he was going in by himself. Keenan tries to go over, slides off.
If you're meta rejects right now, you need to get this regroup coming in as well, too. Knowing that the ultimates are going to be coming online, you don't want to stagger yourself even worse in these situations.
And Barrage is already up. Which means even if these guys get their ults, they're going to be too far in there. And especially on Volskaya, where he's just able to put his back to the wall, he can just ult into them.
We are going to be seeing the Genji.
And we see it. There we go. Exactly that. It's just a dangerous situation to be in.
Forcing yourself into a small location with an ulting Pharah is never a good idea.
And they're going to be able to stall Ivy Cat, which is going to be a big stagger on their part. Yeah. They're just wasting time, and Meta Rejects is doing a very good job of it.
Huge stagger coming in. They are going to be switching over to the McCree Sombra.
Yeah. I think
very low sustain, though. This is the only issue with this comp right now. They're running the Moira Zen. I mean, Lucio Zen.
Yeah, it's not much, but if Peters is able to do what Peters, we've seen him do time and time again, and just get that Smugs out of there and then get Flufflepuffs, Otaku has very little damage and might very well just be able to... They beat in, so they're committing to this fight. They need to win this now. Ski Free is anti by himself. Blade comes out with a hack! Massive hack by Alayla on the Sif, who just ulted and got nanoed. That means his Blade is completely just nullified. He does ult and shatter there, but doesn't get
He is going for the stray pin. Nothing going to come out from it, though.
Kingdom gets a pick on Sif, and Yojak gets a pick on Peters, which means they did trade deeps there. Yojak does look like he's going to get picked here, though, by himself. He does dive. Okay, but Smugs gets a pick on Ski with the res on Sif. Panda getting onto Abe. Otaku seems to be just pretty dominant.
These are just the fights that, These are just the fights that Meta Rejects, you hate to see it, and you hate to lose it.
Yeah.
But A huge pick coming in from Peter there. Mercy had already used her res.
It is very big, but we'll just see. Okay, Sif, dangerous game Sif was just playing there, trying to fight Peters. And they are down, but Smugs is coming back, and Fair coming back post-fight with Barrage could still very well save them this round. And Kingdom and Ski coming in by themselves up front with Abe, and Alayla in the back, Ivy Cat pushing up. And Peters getting the high ground. Peters does have the high ground with that high noon. We'll see if Panda's able to DM most of it, but he does get high break.
He's gonna die!
Now we'll see if Sif is able to do anything here and get Blade. Smugs does ult, manages to get a double kill on both their tanks. EMP comes out, and...
questionable EMP right there. Those
I'm
are
not
ones
sure.
you want to save.
Okay, and then he blades. I suppose it is the last fight, and they just wanted to confirm it. So, Ivy Cat versus Panda right now on point, with Peters coming in. Peters wakes up Panda, Smug's getting a nice, clean, direct hit.
And this is going to be a full hold coming in from Otaku. They were not happy with that last map, and it is them coming back with a vengeance here.
Yeah, that's gotta sting. That's gotta sting. There are several fights there where it just looked like Meta Rejects had every single thing going their way, but then Otaku just managed to clinch it. You know, just hold on to it by that tiniest hair and then retake it all. A real shame. And again, 2CP is just... It's one of those ones that even if... Yeah, anything can happen, and there's always that mental game where having this type of map that is famous for being like this, and quite frankly, I think no one truly likes 2CP. And I think that does play a certain part in it, where if you do get full held on the first one, on the first point, that can do a lot to your morale. The amount of tilt that can come in and the amount of just overall kind of, not defeat, but just feeling of like, oh, geez, we've got to do it all this time. You can't underestimate it.
Well, we are going to be seeing the bunker coming back in.
Yeah. Kingdom on that Symmetra as well, so not quite as heavy bunkery, but definitely going for a little extra damage, a little extra oomph. And we'll see how they hold. We'll see where they're setting up as well.
This is definitely still a winnable game, or tieable game for Meta Rejects here. And if Meta Rejects does manage to get the tie, they will actually be taking the series.
Yeah. Easily. And, okay, so they're holding top right, which I like. Sometimes I see bunker comps holding up front by the gate, and I'm always a little, I don't know about that, because then they just push in. But I like this top right. I like for stage left. So they're just holding in, and it seems to be that Otaku recognizes immediately, and Smug's playing on the ground, just trying to line of sight, and Sif is coming up. It's underneath them. Smug's playing far around. They jump on immediate dive, which I think, yeah, this is a much better push than we saw them doing previously on Hollywood there.
They are already forcing
Smug's getting another pick. They are down on DPS. Yep, he is just stuck on their eye field. Anti as well. Ivy Cat's not able to heal Ski. Alayla gets DMAC'd. Ivy Cat rezzing Kingdom, but it's a little too late, I think. And Kingdom coming down, putting down those turrets, just hoping. But
these are moments where it's a GG no re. Only literally a couple of seconds in there. And that's going to be Otaku taking Volskaya here. We are about to see a map 5.
For the third week in a row, right? Third week in a row that we have a featured match, map 5. Maybe it's featured maps, right? Next time there's a featured map, it's going to be 5 for the rest of that. Sif coming in with this Genji play. Definitely redeemed himself on Genji after last round on Hollywood, where he was playing a little iffy and didn't quite get what he needed to get there, but definitely got him this time.
That we are, and our map 5 that we will be seeing just in a moment here is going to be Lijiang Tower.
And the thing that I think I think going Bastion there may have been a mistake, because I think Otaku coming off of that on Hollywood, they realized, oh, I can't believe we just got full held by that Bastion. Well, maybe not full held, but, you know, we sat there and we took it from the Bastion. We didn't know what to do with it. And I think they learned from that. They realized we just need to commit a dive. We need to go all together and push in on there. And I think Meta Rejects just wasn't quite ready for that. They may have just been a tiny bit too confident with it, and it just fell apart. And that's the shame with bunker comp, is once it goes wrong, it goes wrong.
That it does. It takes that one pick, And if your Bastion or main damage dealer goes down, you will be very close to going back to spawn.
For sure.
If you haven't already had the damage, or at least put them all down to 1.
Definitely. And now we're going to see Li Zhang in control. Like I said earlier, I'm not the biggest fan, but Nepal was strange, because Nepal is one of those maps that's not classic control, and it's not the best to see when you're seeing a lot of DPS versus DPS or goats v goats, because a lot of stuff can happen. But Li Zhang is a classic control map.
That it is.
Where it's just 2 teams fighting each other, and whoever gets the picks wins the match. So we'll definitely be seeing this. What's your favorite map inside of Li Zhang Tower?
Personally, I am a big favorite of Gardens at the moment.
Okay, so you're a Gardens man. I'm a control center. I like
control
the
center.
indoor.
I do enjoy a control center as well too, but I am a fan of Gardens mainly because of the actual variations that you see in a lot of teams approaching. You still can run those goats. You still will see that. You can see dive goats coming in. You'll see a lot of triple DPS from some teams. Dive come in. A lot of Sombra, a lot of Pharah, and just definitely a breath of fresh air to watch.
For sure. And I think the interesting thing about Li Zhang compared to certain other control maps, like if you compare Li Zhang to Ilios or Oasis or any of those other ones, you can really overextend Li Zhang. You can get up into their spawns really quite easily. And I think that's the downfall of a lot of teams.
Now arriving at Lijiang.
Because you'll push out and you feel super confident, but then that one pick happens and you got to fall back, but then the respawn's right there and you push in. So it'll be definitely interesting to see how these guys play it.
It definitely will, and once again, this is for all the marbles here right now. This one has a lot of implications as well. If Meta Rejects manage to pull this off, not only are their playoff spot clinched, but this one actually gives a lot of ramifications for Otaku. You could actually see them potentially moving down in standings, depending on the map differentials and also the win differentials.
Depending on how the matches on Wednesday go, Otaku could be, for the first time in a long time, moving down to second place. Which, I mean, isn't much. They've secured themselves, and they've proven that they deserve it. But just that little bit coming into it just definitely shows how close the top is.
Don't forget to also get out your sandbags as well, just in case.
Oh, yeah.
Sandbags for chat.
Sandbags for chat.
4, 3, 2, 1.
But Otaku's
so we'll be
not
seeing the
that
Pharah.
team. They still want to go for that win. It's
they do.
Usually their type.
So we're going to be seeing this Pharah Genji that's been working for them quite well, especially with the Winston. And then on the side of Meta Rejects, we'll be seeing Ski and
Peter going off!
Big boot by Smugs! And Ivy Cat is low already as well. Ivy Cat gets picked off. Kingdom is anti.
Ivy Cat is Ivy gone!
And I don't know if we saw that there, but Alayla was on point trying to draw them back, but it got slept immediately by Hybrid, which was beautiful, causing her to have to just immediately get back. But Smugs has just been dominant these past couple games on this Pharah. And I think Meta Rejects needs to maybe not necessarily stop ignoring him, but just focus maybe a tiny bit more. And here we go, focusing on that Peters again. Peters is just lagging behind a little bit, and I think that's just a little too painful for them to be dealing with.
As well too for Meta Rejects. Your Lucio doesn't come pick up that straggler.
Ooh, Ski gets slept when he jumps in there.
Incredible sleep.
Yeah, oh, and Smug's already with the ult. Although most of it gets eaten, he does get D-mech as Sip comes out with the blade, D-meching Kingdom, getting the kill, killing Ski.
Very questionable use for both of your DPS ults, though.
Yeah, what that struck me as is, oh, Smugs pops ult. Okay, he got one pick. Oh no, it's all getting eaten. He's gonna die here. Let me pop this ult because I see that I can confirm this win. And while it's a little questionable, I think overall it's better for them to win that for sure than have any of these strange matches. Ooh, Ski's anti and low. Has to get out of there really quickly though. The Nano does get applied to Yojak, pushing in. And Kingdom getting slept. Hybrid is just on point with sleeps right now.
Yojak can be forced to primal. Yojak is forced to primal. Is he going to get the juggle
but he's
onto Peter?
Peter is low. Peter's getting pushed in. Bomb coming out by Kingdom. And since, ooh, big pick on Hybrid, they can now push in. If they can get this kill on Sip or Yojak, then this would be big. Smugs gets on Layla, though.
Smugs is
Ski
hacked,
is
though.
now forced to Primal. Clopsy gets knocked off by Ski. That is a massive pick. Smugs is in the back. Smugs is getting just booped off by Ski, getting bothered here and there. Peter's getting it onto Yojak. Now, Sip coming out with the blade again. Just, these DPS ults are being farmed by Otaku
Very
so
big
quickly.
beat, though.
It is. Smugs does get picked, though, by Peters. Kingdom is demeched. Hack coming off onto Yojak, and EMP again. This is definitely a needed win right now. They need to be able to win this. Yojak's been hacked and EMP'd, and yet he's still not down. If they can get Yojak and just make sure that this Sif Yojak dive duo is done, then I think they're going to have a really promising start. And he does get Sif. Pups does res Hybrid, though. Yojak is still alive.
This
and
is a
just
long fight right here, though.
Beastman nearly gets separated off by
They
the
do
Maul,
manage
though.
to cap, though, and Peter is going to be able to definitely get
They
2
do.
picks.
Peters gets 3 picks there.
Basically
Kingdom
4.
finally gets Yojak. Sif is just on the outskirts, having to try to get back out of there. Kingdom pushing them back. Pups and Smokes just doing that pharmacy. And that is a strong take by meta, but it is.
But a lot
It
of
did take
ultimates
them
coming
longer
online.
than I think they should have. It's 99%, and
A lot of
this
ultimates
would be
coming
a
online.
big first round, for sure. Hybrid has Nano. Blade coming in now. Yojak, immediate pick by Sif. Shield is down by Yojak, blocking it off. And Pharah ult coming in. Big eats again by Kingdom, though. Valk is popped before meta reject. The Ski is primaling. This is just being a bit chaotic, these fights, honestly.
They are committing a lot of ultimates to this, though. If
Yeah, Ski is still alive as well.
if Otaku
Okay,
doesn't
but
manage to win,
okay. Ooh, Peters popping his high noon. Doesn't manage to get anyone, but it looks like he's focusing on the Hybrid. Hybrid is down now. Smokes kills himself. Flopsy is demeched and low. They're getting collapsed on. And that is a good win by them. Looked a little iffy for a little while there, but they took it back.
this puts Otaku in a horrible situation as well, where they've committed a lot of their resources to these fights and not paid off.
Yeah, the only real ult they have is Diva Bomb. But Diva Bomb on this map specifically, with all this barriers that you can just walk behind, isn't always going to get you a lot, especially if you're fighting for point. Now, Sip is coming behind, and Ski 3 was on him for a second, but he falls back to his team.
Peter is gonna get zoned out, though.
Smugs getting Peters, though. It's a big pick. The Nano Yojak coming in, Blade coming in. Sif has managed to farm these blades so fast. It's
And
being quite
Ivy
incredible
Cat,
to watch.
she dies while she's in her beat. She actually
Not
gets
good.
dashed out. Layla is going to be
See
able
what
to touch,
happens
though.
here, if they're able to do anything.
Layla, the only one. She has to be the hero for this team right now. And get
Beastman coming in with ball. See, okay, maybe the spin can win. The spin to win, maybe, but he's antied and slept for a short while there. The 3 are on point. This is completely lost, but it does not look promising, and now it looks to be completely lost.
Yep. It's only a matter of time until this point here is capped by Otaku. As they're going to take the first point. Gardens here on Lijiang.
It was a valiant try, though, by the side of Meta Reject. Not nearly as one-sided as the beginning seemed to make it seem like. 96 to 99%, that is more than a lot of matches end up being.
Now here's where we're probably going to be seeing a lot more of the goats. Even though you are a big fan of the control center, this definitely tends to be favored to that comp.
For sure, for sure. And yeah, it's goats on both sides now. This will be the first time we've seen this in a little while, but there'll definitely be a...
Otaku, very
Good
strange
old
though, committing to the actual standard Ana goats, where they've been more known to run the Sombra variant.
Ooh, and they're doing Snows, actually, with Kingdom on May, which has worked out very well for them in the past. So we'll see how this goes overall. They initiate a big wall off by Kingdom right there. Yojak, ooh, Ski gets booped there, unable to get the pin off.
Big
Peters
sleep.
does get Hybrid, though, early on. Flopsy having to push back a little bit, and Ski's just in their backline. Ooh, Kingdom walls off Ski, though, into them. Flopsy gets frozen, Yojak gets taken down. This is a pretty dominant win. And look at that energy that Peters has. That is an insane amount of energy to be gaining off such a quick early game fight.
Already almost leading his counterpart by 20% as well too.
Ooh, Layla gets slept there, so they're able to push in, okay, but they seem to be falling back a little bit and playing it safe.
And Peter is going to have an early grab as well, too. And since they're running the Ana variant, they only have that sound barrier in order to contest that. Or Klopp's
the only ult that Otaku has right now is Shatter as well. And although that is more than Meta has right now, Meta's definitely closer with more. Wall comes out, Kingdom just disrupts it all. Shatter does come out, and Ski gets one with the Shatter itself, which is big. Now, Klopsy and... yeah, this has been a pretty dominant round. You can see that Meta Rejects is much more comfortable with Goats than Otaku seems to be overall.
Definitely a couple of really interesting things happen there, though. With Yojak trying to pin in order to counteract the Shatter there, it really cost his team because they didn't have that backup from their Reinhardt.
And although Ski was 20% less to ult, and ooh, big wall immediately. Grab coming out. Oh, that was a nice Shatter though by Yojak there. And then Grab comes out, but then Kingdom with the Blizzard there. They can get Sith here, who's blocked off by himself. Big wall again. Sith just seems to be completely enabled. Ski diving right in there and gets punished for it.
See, those are those stray pins I'm talking about. They cost your team in these situations. As a Reinhardt,
They do.
If your team
It seemed
is not
almost
aggressive,
like Ski was... yeah, it seemed almost there that Ski was trying to pin into the ice wall rather than them, but just slid off or missed. I suppose ice is slippery, so it would only make sense.
Yep. Slip and slide.
Ski does have Shatter though, and the ult economy for Meta Rejects looks fairly good overall. Now that is I love that wall Kingdom just did.
Oh, a
massive
huge
Shatter
ultimate
ice.
coming out from Ski Free.
Oh, beautiful. See, I love that wall. Kingdom set them up so perfectly right there. See, you would think that they would try to wall them off or wall them back in, but he just basically made the corridor longer for them so they could get to the right. And they didn't notice that Ski had gotten to the almost behind them, which meant Yojak was too concentrated on the front and Ski was just able to Shatter straight down.
They are going to be holding
Did
point,
Yojak
though.
use his Shatter?
Yojak did use his Shatter in that fight, but Alayla managed to stun him out.
That was amazing then. So Otaku is in a much worse position now than they by any means should. And that grab, although looking vaguely questionable initially, does end up getting 3. That is big wall by Kingdom again. Kingdom is just amazing on this Mei. It's rare that you see a good Mei, and when
To
you
the
do,
window
you
to
gotta
the wall.
appreciate
Let's
it.
Zenyatta
Big
pop
anti
the wall.
though. Massive anti. But is it going to be enough? No, Flufflepuffs gets frozen there, unable to do another massive Shatter by Ski. They get Hyper down, Klopsy D-Mech. Now they just need to focus on Flufflepuffs, and they didn't.
Yep. And this is only a matter of time as well, too, until... yeah.
Ski doing a good job of distracting there.
This is an even game once again. 1-1 here on Li Zhang.
They are really drawing this out, keeping us on the edge of their seats, aren't they? They're not letting us have anything easy. If they're going to fight this game, then they're going to make us fight to watch it, right? We don't have any real clear prediction. When one thing seems like it's happening, another thing immediately happens. And you've got to give it to Ski and Kingdom there for those beautiful combo of Shatters and Freezes.
Yeah.
But we see Kingdom on the Symmetra. We'll see if he tries to stick it, because he did stick it when they were doing the bunker comp, but I don't know if they're doing this differently. No, it looks like he's sticking with the Symmetra. This will be very interesting to see. And Smugs is back onto that Pharah, and the comp that they were running before. Very dominant.
Not the best thing considering the fact that they're going to be running this Pharah. They're going to have
Yeah.
that big poke damage and not much except for a Zenyatta in order to contest that.
Now, okay, so they are simming in though, and the Zarya can do it, but Smug's immediately getting a pick on Beastman, which is, again, just
But they
like,
will be getting a lot of spam
unbelievable
damage.
now. Smugs is on the right side, just spamming in, and they're not able to do much. Ski is antied in half, very low. Ski gets picked out immediately. The Sim turret's doing some damage, but just not quite enough.
Kingdom very high charge though on his Symmetra primary. That's a lot of
and
damage.
Look at his ult charge. He's already at Simwall. Big Simwall there, walling him off now. So this is very winnable still. Peter's getting that pick on Smugs. Ivy Cat getting Yojak. Well, Blade does come out by Sif getting Ivy Cat though. But Kingdom does get Sif. This is Sif Kingdom with the double kill.
All hail Kingdom, the sim man.
Yeah. Playing, you know what? Meta Rejects is finally starting to like live up to their name with Mei Goats and Sims. Yeah. Now, maybe Meta Rejects themselves aren't meta rejects. But we can definitely agree Kingdom right now is.
Otaku is very confused of what to do at this moment as well. They were not expecting it.
Klopsy and Yojak are going right side. Oh, Smug's a massive triple.
Massive barrage, though. And once again,
that is very big. Gets a quad. Let's see if he can bring it up to anything else.
Those are the moments that Symmetra will come to bite you, though, when you do play those off-goats variants, because you aren't going to have anything to contest that long-range damage coming into Pharah.
And Kingdom now switches off to Diva for the more traditional goats that you would see.
Very traditional goats. They're on the Moira right now.
Yeah.
And with an Ana potentially throwing a nade, that could be very, very bad for
Yojak holding up top, though. Oh, Sip gets picked off early by Peter. Very big. Now, if they're able to collapse on Yojak's Fluffle getting that res, though, are they able to stop it? No, they're not able to stop it. Kingdom is a tiny bit too late, but Sip does still get stunned, and Sip is low. Peters gets booped off, though. Smug's getting a real early and important pick, and Layla just getting hit off as well by Smug. This Pharah is just doing a number on them. Ooh, but they committed a lot of ults there. They just committed Blade, Barrage, Bomb, Nano.
Well, that's the trouble with trying to run counter goats. If you're not going to run the goats back at them, in these situations like this, you're not just trading ultimates. You're literally forcing the ultimates out of the other team in order to get you off that point.
Yeah. So now we're going to see. Okay, so I like this coming up from above. It's much more streamlined. They're able to just push up. Now, if they're able to, okay, so Rally is picked, but they need to get back a little bit because Ski is just getting pummeled, and only Lucio to heal is not very much. Shatter comes out, manages to get 3 with that Shatter, although looking very far. He does get 2. Peter's getting Yojak. That is very big. Klopsy is now the only one on point who needs to be dealt with. Hybrid's on the outside, though.
Massive!
And big. Big.
That's incredible there. Ski-free
now,
managing...
There's something... Oh,
sorry, Ski-free managing to get the pin there towards that end as well, too. And after the team had actually focused that fire, he was able to get a second Otaku player pinned in that.
Look at Smugs. He looks to be going as far away around. Trying to get this long flank, get to point, maybe even try to C9. Oh no, he seems to be going for damage mostly.
Yeah, they're trying to create this crossfire
here. They do still have Grab Bomb, though. Smugs is just pummeling them with damage. Oh, but Klopsy eats the grab, which is massive. Now, Beat does come out, which I think is wise. The dual Diva Bomb comes out. Neither gets any picks. Alayla is antied. Smugs gets Ski Free, though, which is a big
Kingdom
pick
with a huge eat right there, though. Only allowing Kingdom to go, Ski Free to go down.
Peters is still high charge as well. And that's something we said, oh, but Peters seems to be almost knocked off the edge by his Yojak there. Getting picked, and Fluff Puff's rise on Smug is just massive. Beastman just doing his best to just heal and to keep himself alive as well.
But it still looks like Meta Rejects. They still have the advantage in this fight.
That was a big D-Mech from Klopsy and a big kill by Flufflepuffs there. Ski coming in with the Shatter. Doesn't manage to get anyone other than the D-Mech Baby Diva. Big anti by Hybrid.
But it doesn't have that backup that they need. No.
Oh, beautiful double
and
kill there.
And this is actually going to be Meta Rejects.
Meta Rejects, to much my pleasure, I can announce, has won against Otaku. This is an upset. Otaku has just been hammered with upset after upset, and this really brings into question, where is the place of Otaku from now on? Because their previous dominant status against teams, like, they were the team to defeat Gravity early on. And maybe it's just Meta Rejects truly living up to the name that they really tried to build themselves on early on, because they were playing phenomenally there. But is something about Otaku just not quite melding that they need to fix out as far as kinks go?
Yep, no, it could have also been that momentum as well, too, with Meta Rejects losing a Heartbreaker to Solo Cup that last game.
It's true, true. I think there's nothing that you can't understate how vital, like, the mental state from a week to week really does transfer, because even though a week seems like a long time, those memories can be really fresh in your mind.
But once again, this is going to be Meta Rejects managing to pick up an incredible win here.
Indeed, indeed.
And this is definitely going to be momentum they're going to be wanting to carry in for playoffs, too.
For sure. But who do you think was, like, player of the match then? Like, from either team?
I'm actually going to give it to two players in particular. These players carried both their teams. Smugs, with his outstanding Pharah play and just general flexibility and shot calling he brings to the team. Even as a DPS, he's usually the team's primary shot caller that creates a lot of these situations for them, that creates a lot of these openings, that makes it so that they're getting this information as well as knowing how to set up.
Yeah.
And for
that actually makes some sense though for Smugs, because on the almost all the fights that we saw Otaku lose led with Smugs getting picked. And if he truly is like the main voice, shot caller, then if he gets picked off, not only are they lacking damage, but they also then start to fall apart, especially against Goats teams that really, collapse in on people. So that makes some sense actually.
And then for meta rejects, I'm gonna have to give that one, as much as everyone's gonna moan, hum, and haw, it is gonna be Peter. You know what? His consistency. Actually, I'm actually gonna have to split that. Never mind. See, I'm gonna say Peter, but I'm also gonna say Kingdom as well too, because especially for that last map there, that Symmetra throwing off Otaku.
Oh, totally.
Throwing a wrench into what they thought they were gonna run and forcing Otaku to play that point, to basically skipping those moments there.
For sure. Easily for me, player of the match was Kingdom. His Mei was just phenomenal. Anytime I saw him get on that Mei, they won the round, and they just truly did it. And that combo with Ski, I can't express that enough. That was really beautiful. And early on, there was a great dive by Gecko and Abe. Gecko was, I believe, on the soldier, and Abe just dove straight in front of a Diva Bomb as Brig and blocked it. I just wanted a little call out to that play because I don't think that got enough showtime on Junkertown.
That one definitely didn't get enough showtime. But still, these teams definitely did battle.
Oh, for sure. Top tier.
Someone's going to throw in a sandbag joke, but neither team was sandbagging.
No, for sure. This was meta rejects, I think, though, the best I have ever seen them be.
Yeah.
And this is all that talk that they've been doing, all talking about Ski's strong tank lineup and talking about everything else. I think they lived up to it. They're backing up what they're saying, for sure.
Yeah. But with that being said, Steve, do you have a Twitch that you can give a shout out for as well too? That you can plug for the chat?
All right. No, I don't do anything outside of this league.
Understandable. So for us here at the Tranquility team, it's been myself, Zuby, usually your producer extraordinaire, sometimes caster, and our boy Steve Obushemi, signing off from the desk. See, we will be seeing, or if you check in tomorrow, you'll be seeing another interesting match, not broadcast on this channel, but definitely from the perspective of both teams, Solo Cup versus Harmony and Chaos. And that is an implication of massive proportions, because one of those teams could potentially dethrone...
move up to first.
Yep. It's a very big game that we're going to be seeing tomorrow.
Definitely.
All the games are going to be incredible. But once again, us from the Tranquility team and Tranquility Desk over here, signing out. Thank you guys for watching. We can't do this without you, and have a fantastic night. Goodbye.
Experience